decrease waste. Decrease waste. In the new economy, we've got to decrease waste. What am I talking about? In the old days, we have to have so many leads and so many new patients that, you know what, like if they showed up, they showed up. But now, if we don't do the 15 reminder calls, if we don't do the texts, if we don't do the questionnaire before they come, we can't afford to have this non-show-up rate anymore that we were okay before. So we have to be more innovative. More innovative. Those of you on my mastermind last night, basically that was Mike McCallowitz talking about that. We have to be more innovative. So I know as a business owner, the hardest thing is if someone's got an idea and it costs a lot of money, it's like, no, how do we get the same result? It's a famous story of Jeff Bezos working with his team, and he said we wanted to, at that point, the department wanted to double with the same resources. It's like double with the same team. Double with the same resources. How are we going to do that as a team? So we have to decrease waste in the business, because I tell you this, the good economy allowed for you to be a little bit wasteful, me included, by the way. You know, it's okay. We're generating so many new patients that to the structure and the meetings involved to make sure we're doing the reminder calls, etc., etc., etc. So much work. There's more of that where that comes from. But that type of thinking in a new business is going to be really challenging. Decrease waste, decrease waste. So here's what I want you to do. So let me give you some examples. I just want to give you some examples of minimizing waste. So we have new NFAs, write NFA down. So let me ask you this. What about all those people? This is all BD, so bear with me. I know some of you are going to be like, well, this is quite heavy, this stuff, but we're going to go some PD in a moment. So here's some areas that I truly believe you can help with waste. Number one, NFAs. Write that down. So NFAs is people with no future appointments. I'm not going to solve it for you today, but I'm going to ask you the question. As a team, what are you doing for NFAs? As a team, what are you doing for NFAs? So NFAs, what are you doing for them? And by the way, how many times on average do you have to phone someone before you get them on the phone statistically? That's right there, that statistic, when I first heard it, it broke my heart. Do you know why? How many of you realize it's freaking hard to make a lot of phone calls? It's hard. So statistically, it takes over 6 phones. So you have to be determined. You have to have structure. Team members, I'm going to tell you that business owners, sometimes we're not that good. We're not that good at some of that stuff. We're like often more the visionaries, meaning we have ideas. How many of you team members, how many of you ever had one of your business owners or chiropractic business owners come in and offer a new idea every like 30 minutes of the day? That's me. My team's like, oh my God. My team always say this, they get way more work done when I'm not in the office. Can I please leave already? Jesus, we can't get any work done. But that's our job. Our job is to do that. Our job is to think. And sometimes it's the job of my team to push back a little, but at some point there's a concept in teams that, and that's what leadership is, I live and die by the sword, meaning somebody has to make a decision. It doesn't matter if it's wrong. It makes no difference if it's wrong. We just have to choose something. And please write this down. In a team, we have a concept called we are allowed to disagree, but commit. So team members, that's normal. By the way, is it possible for everyone in your team to always agree? Impossible. Like the person that you share a bed with, do you agree with them all the time? No freaking hell you don't. You know, I mean, I always agree with my wife. I'm just saying. I always agree with my wife. I'm just saying. But if that's the closest relationship you have, of course you're going to disagree with team members. But I want you to remember this one concept. This will make you the strongest team you can must have. It's okay to disagree, but you still have to commit to one decision. Like, it's irrelevant what the decision is. You with me? It's irrelevant. Just make a decision, and if it's wrong, great. Let's do it fast. Everyone say fast. Doesn't matter if it's wrong. Doesn't matter if it's wrong. Cool. NFAs. Next, DNAs. What are you doing for did not arrives? That's that's wasteful. I hate it when I see that. So like, they did not arrive to a new patient appointment. And they've paid in advance. What are we doing? What about people paid for care plans but not getting adjusted anymore? Our tendency is to go, just leave it alone in case I don't go and re-engage them. Go get them back into practice. You know, DNAs. Reminder calls. What are we doing about reminder calls? Like, we have to up the game. And I remember during lockdown, I got one phone call from one business, and I remember who it was. So sometimes you can just phone and find out if someone's okay. My accountant's phoned. I'm like, okay, I know everyone's not stressed financially. I'm just phoning to check if you're okay. That meant a lot to me. So DNA, reminder calls. What about, how many do Facebook ads at the moment? Okay, here's what the team members need to listen to and remember. Is it's, if you miss statistically, if you miss a phone call within 5 minutes of them filling in the form, the chances, or rather say this, if you phone them within 5 minutes of them making their call, the chances of you getting hold of them goes up by between 100 and 500 times. 500 times. But lowest level, the chances of getting hold of them on the phone goes up 100 times. So as a team, my suggestion is find a way. Find a way. What about after hours? I'm going to tell you right now, I was once taught this. If you only prepared get paid for what you do, you'll never get paid more than what you do. So like, go do more wherever possible.